Sabaidi. Welcome to this LNTV English News Edition for Thursday the 1st of April. I'm Sarit Ponsathamabong in Vientiane capital. In our top stories, Vietnamese party leader vows to lift ties with Laos for mutual benefit. ASEAN-AUS-NZ free trade agreement to boost regional economy. Training to improve disaster response time. First MBA graduates well equipped to face challenges. Korean donation assists the hungry in Laos. And now we begin firstly with President Jumali extends sympathy to Russia. President Jumali Sayason has expressed his sympathy to his Russian counterpart, Dmitry Medvedev, over Monday's Moscow subway explosions. The message from President Jumali read, "I have learned with profound sadness of deadly explosion on Moscow's subway on March 29th, which caused heavy death toll and many injuries."
On behalf of the government and people of the Lao PDR, and on my own behalf, I would like to convey our sincerest condolences and sympathy to Your Excellency as well as to the Russian people and the victims' families. The Lao PDR strongly condemns such brutal acts and reaffirms its continued cooperation with the Federation of Russia and the international community in the fight against terrorism in all forms. According to a Xinhua news agency report on Tuesday, the death toll from the twin blasts rose to 39 as another woman died in a clinic. The agency also reported that 5 people remain in critical condition out of 71 hospitalized after the blasts that were blamed on Chechen rebels. City Health Department official Andrei Savtsovsky told the Rossiya 24 state news channel. Only 8 victims had been formally identified, he said. Russian President Dmitry Medvedev said on Monday his country will fight terrorism without hesitation and to the end. Medvedev, who has ordered officials to beef up security on transport all over the country, said Russia will continue to fight terrorism.
Vietnamese party leader vows to lift ties with Laos for mutual benefit. Vietnam party chief stated that Vietnam will do its utmost to lift ties with Laos to new height for the sake of their peoples and for peace, stability, cooperation and development in the region and the world.
Politburo member and Vice President of Laos, Bunyang Varatit, paid a courtesy visit to party Secretary-General Nong Duc Meng, who delivered the statement during a welcome reception in Hanoi on March 30th. Vietnam's party chief Nong Duc Meng expressed delight at positive developments in the Vietnam-Laos special ties and thanked the party, state and people.
Trade between Laos, Australia and New Zealand is set to become easier and less costly thanks to a new ASEAN-Australia-New Zealand free trade agreement. According to Australian Ambassador to Laos, Dr. Mitchell Forster, the ASEAN-Australia-New Zealand free trade agreement came into force in Australia on January the 1st this year and is set to come into force in Laos shortly.
Dr. Foster was speaking at the yesterday workshop on Free Trade Agreement FTA hosted by the Australian Embassy and the Ministry of Industry and Commerce and supported by the Australia-New Zealand Business Association in Laos. Opened by Dr. Foster and Deputy Minister of Industry and Commerce Siao Savat Saveng Siksa, the workshop introduced the new free trade agreement to both the Lao and Australian business communities. Entitled Understand the ASEAN-Australia-New Zealand Free Trade Agreement, Outcomes and Opportunities for Business, the workshop promoted the opportunities the agreement will create for both Lao and Australian business and investment. The ASEAN-Australia-New Zealand Free Trade Agreement is the most comprehensive FTA that ASEAN has ever concluded. According to Australian Ambassador, Australia and Laos have significant trade and investment ties. Australian companies have made a strong contribution to Laos' economic development, particularly in the mining and financial services sectors. It is disclosed that The ASEAN-Australia-New Zealand Free Trade Agreement, which will cover more than 70% of trade between ASEAN and Australia and New Zealand by 2020, will lower regional trade costs and raise competitiveness. It will eliminate tariffs on 96% of Australia's current exports to ASEAN countries.
A joint MBA program between the National University of Laos and the Lao-Japan Human Resource Cooperation Center, called LJC, has achieved success, with the first batch of students graduating this week.
A group of 32 students obtained the MBA degree after completing the 1-year and 5-month course at the LJC in Vientiane. The graduation ceremony was held on Tuesday at the National University of Laos and was attended by Minister of Education, Dr. Pankam Vipawan. At the ceremony, Dr. Pankam said he believed the students had gained invaluable knowledge and experience through their intensive interactions with both Lao and Japanese lecturers, adding that the special knowledge and experience gained would play an important role in their future career development. Japanese Ambassador to Laos Masaaki Miyashita praised the graduates for their determination and success. He also urged the successful students to make the best use of their knowledge to further the development of their own businesses and organizations. A second group of 37 students is also taking the program, while a third will be recruited from late April.
After the break, we have assessment and management by providing better training to officials according to the Ministry of Planning and Investment. The government officials from various sectors will be trained on how to undertake post-disaster needs assessment in a course running from June to December. In his remark, Director General of Planning Department Dr. Kamlian Punsena said, to help the affected population, the government of Laos organized a meeting of a National Disaster Management Committee chaired by the Ministry of Social Welfare and Labor to coordinate an effort to develop a comprehensive recovery plan for the public investment. The training will include how to undertake post-disaster damage, loss, and needs assessments, with national-level training to begin in June. World Bank Country Manager Mr. Ilangavan Pochamatu said disaster can have a huge economic impact and damage infrastructure, property, and human life. He added that the importance of the training is to improve the ability of the government officials to help victims of disasters. A Korean film star has joined the Korean government in helping to feed the hungry in Laos, with 2 separate donations being made to the United Nations World Food Program in Vientiane capital. Jang Dong-kun is a high-profile Korean actor and musician who was appointed as the WFP Ambassador Against Hunger for Korea in 2008. He joined World Food Program's representative in Laos, Karen Manate, at the handover ceremony in Vientiane yesterday, where a $400,000 donation was made by the Korean Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Trade. According to the World Food Program representatives in Laos, Karen Manate, this contribution is invaluable as it will help the WFP and its partners to ensure assistance to the most vulnerable population in the country in times of need. It is noted that since his appointment as the World Food Program Ambassador, Jang Dong-kun has starred in advertisement aired and printed in several Asian countries, which prompt cash donation from fans and partners to support programs in Asia and other parts of the world. During his 1-week visit to Laos, Mr. Jang visited southern provinces that were heavily affected by Tropical Storm Kitsanai last year. He took the opportunity to attend WFP relief distributions so that he could see firsthand how contributions are used in the field. Before we wrap up, the Australian Development Scholarship and Australian Leadership Award, known as ADS and ALA application forms for 2011 to 2012 are now available for interested people who want to study in Australia. The scholarships are open to public and open categories. Deadline for submission for ADS is Friday the 7th of May, and ALA is Wednesday the 30th of June. For further information, please contact Lao Australian Scholarship Office at the Vientiane College at working hours, or contact at the address displayed right now. This is LNTV English News Program. I am Sirit Ponsutamabong and the news team here in Vientiane capital. Thank you very much for watching. Goodbye for now.